Namaskaram. Welcome to Prabandhams and Stotrams. We are continuing to cover Sri nyAsa daSakam of Sri Swami Desikan and also Adaikala Pattu. We'll get to Adaikala Pattu after we are formally done with nyAsa daSakam. But you've already been introduced to a few parts of it as we have been going along. So this is part 4. And so today I expect to cover the first several slokams of nyAsa daSakam. So as usual, let me start with the Thaniyan, and first my own personal prayer. Arvargal Acharyar Arulayyu Ulahinile, Varvargal Tammidaye Parappidave, Alvane, Nyalatil Anuvin Sirum Adiyudayu Erekku, Kalatil Arulayo Karmukile, the saint composer's grace, and yes, preceptors too, to spread it far and wide, O Lord who rules his soul. Alas, his wisdom small, an atom sure to shame. Your blessing won't you give, O cloud that bears the rain. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly review the key concepts that I mentioned towards the end of last class, and then continue from there. So I showed you a picture which said that in Prapatti, you give up 3 things at first. You say, I'm going to give up my Atma. I'm going to recognize that my Atma is not mine. That is called Atma Samarpanam or Swarupa Samarpanam. In fact, I mentioned that to think that your Atma is your own is to do what is called Atma Apaharam, and it is called one of the worst sins that you can commit. In fact, I even mentioned a slokam which said, anyone doing Atma Apaharam, what other sins will he not commit? What other sin will he not stoop to commit? Okay. So in fact, in the very first slokam of nyAsa daSakam, Swami Desikan will say that I'm giving up all these. None of these is mine. My Atma is not mine. Bharasamarpanam, that is the responsibility of protecting my Atma. Ennudaya Atma vai rakshikkum puruppu, that the responsibility is not mine. So that would be called Bharasamarpanam. So that's also called Atma Raksha Samarpanam. And then Phala Samarpanam, whatever benefit or fruit that accrues from protecting me, that also is not mine. So the very first slokam will simply say this: I'm doing all these 3. I'm recognizing that none of these 3 things are mine. Well, if they're not mine, then who does they belong to? They belong to Sri Pati. So that's what the very first slokam of nyAsa daSakam will say. And then we saw that there are, in the second slokam of nyAsa daSakam, it will say that there are 5 angas to Prapatti. And those 5 angas, so it will say what those 5 angas are, and it will say that along with these angas, I am doing that Atma Nikshepanam, I'm doing that Bhara Samarpanam, if you will, representing my Atma to Emperuman. So what are those 5 things? So the 5 things that it will mention are Anukulya Sankalpam. Anukulya is what is Anukulya to Emperuman. What Emperuman likes, that is what our Sankalpam should be. That is what we should plan to do as well. So it's a kind of a checklist with all these green check marks shown. These are things that you should do. I will do only that which pleases you. So think of this as a list of things that Emperuman would like you to do. And then the opposite of that is Pratikulya Varjanam. And again, I mentioned that we are introducing terminology, but please don't be intimidated by terminology. The concepts are very simple. I will not do what displeases Emperuman. I won't do anything that displeases you. So you can think of it as a list of things that he doesn't want you to do. So that's why those red X's are. And then he also wants you to say that you are an akinchan. So you are a destitute. So that part is called karpanyam or akinchanyam. And it's essentially one where you say, I am unfit for any other upayam. For example, I am unfit for doing bhakti margam to attain moksham. So this is the only path that is available to me. So please help me. So it's like this. So when you admit that you are handicapped, you get a handicapped, free pass. So you can park in those blue spaces, and you get to park very close to the building that you have to visit, etc. So it's kind of like this. So carpenium is a way of declaring that I am handicapped, I'm destitute, so please recognize it and give me an easy margam. And the easy margam, of course, is going to be this surrender or prapatti. Then Mahavishwasam, the great faith. That Mahavishwasam, it's best exemplified by the Tirukkolur Pinpillai Ragasyam, the words that she used, Irugayum Vitteno Draupadiyai Pole. So when Draupadi was praying to Krishna to save her honor, she let go of her sari because she had faith in Emperman. That is called Mahavishwasam. Irugayum Vitteno Draupadiyai Pole. Essentially, you are saying, I know for sure you will protect me, and I have absolutely no doubt about that at all. So this is the most difficult part of prapatti. Even though we think we have that Vishwasam, Mahavishwasam, I think we really have to do it even more, to make that Vishwasam even stronger. And finally, the Goptrutva Varnam is simply the prayer to Emperman saying, please protect me. So that Rakshamam Sharanagatam, think of that phrase, that kind of summarizes what Goptrutva Varnam is. I pray that you protect me. So the second slokam of nyAsa daSakam will say that with these 5 angas, I'm committed to these 5 angas, and with those 5 angas, I'm doing prapatti to you. Okay. Now I mentioned, I gave that specific slokam, that's slokam number 2, but we are going to go through it formally. I also mentioned that there is a slokam in Adaikalapattu which also mentions those 5 things. When we go through Adaikalapattu again more formally, we will get a chance to review that pasuram again. Okay, so a few high-level words about nyAsa daSakam, and then we will start learning the slokams. So nyAsa daSakam is one of the many prapatti stotrams from Swami Desikan. Swami Desikan has written 3 stotrams that begin with nyAsa, whose names begin with nyAsa. Of course, nyAsa daSakam is one of them. So nyAsa daSakam, as you know, daSakam means 10 slokas, so it has 10 slokas in it. nyAsa Vimshati means about 20, so it has 22 slokas specifically, and that's another stotram that Swami Desikan has written. But unlike nyAsa daSakam, which is more in the form of a prayer, and that's why we have chosen it, this nyAsa Vimshati is more in the form of a treatise. It's something like somebody's master's thesis or PhD dissertation, because it contains a lot of arguments about why prapatti, for example, is a genuine way to reach moksham directly, etc. So it has the flavor of a treatise. And in fact, Swami Desikan has also written a commentary about nyAsa Vimshati. So in fact, many of the explanations of nyAsa Vimshati are based on the commentary that he wrote in addition to the stotram itself. And similarly, nyAsa Tilakam, as you know, is what you wear on your forehead. And because so it's kind of like the crown jewel, it says, so you might think of it as a crown jewel of all the nyAsa stotrams. So it has 32 slokams in it. So in that sense, it is even longer than the Vimshati. And I should also mention that the nyAsa daSakam, in addition to having only 10 slokams, there are only 2-line slokams, whereas the Vimshati and Tilakam, they contain 4-line slokams as well. So in that sense, they are bigger, not just in the number of slokams, but also in the size of each slokam as well. And the nyAsa Tilakam is specifically addressed to Srirangam Perumal, whereas nyAsa daSakam is addressed to the Kanchi Perarulalan. Adaikalapattu is one of the Tamil Prabandhams of Swami Desikan. It is said to be closely allied to nyAsa daSakam, which is the reason why we are going to learn that as well, because it comes almost for free. Adaikalapattu is also addressed to Kanchipuram, the Perarulalan, or Varadaraja Perumal, or Devaraja Perumal, or Deva Perumal, or Kanchipuram. There's also another one called Sharanagati Deepika, which has about 59 slokams in it. And it is addressed to the Deepa Prakasan Perumal of the Kshetram Tiruttanka. Tiruttanka is the Avatara Sthalam of Swami Desikan. So anyway, so that's another Sharanagati related slokam as well. Now, specifically about nyAsa daSakam, it is more of a prayer and less of a treatise, so it's ideally suited for us. It is short and sweet. It succinctly conveys the prapatti philosophy. And the first 3 slokams of nyAsa daSakam are said to be a reinforcement of the Dvaya mantras Upayam, the Dvaya mantra has two parts. Dvayam itself means two things. So the first part indicates the upayam. It says that I'll go through the Dvaya mantra in just a moment. But the first part of Dvaya mantra is about the upayam, and the second part of Dvaya mantra is about the phalan. So the Dvaya mantra is here. Sriman Narayana Charano Sharanam Prapadye Srimate Narayanaya Namaha. So the Sriman Narayana Charano Sharanam Prapadye. So you see, the Dvaya mantram is one of the three famous rahasyams of Sri Vaishnavism. So you may have heard of Rahasya Trayam. So the three rahasyas. So the Tirumantram or the Ashtakshara mantram or Om Namo Narayana. So that is considered as one of the three. Dvayam is the second of those, and it's also called Dvayam because it has two parts to it. And the third one is the Charama Slokam from Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Praja. But anyway, so Dvayam is a very important one. It is unlike Tirumantram, which doesn't explicitly mention Sri Devi. This one explicitly brings Sri Devi into the picture. So it thinks of Narayanan as Sriman Narayanan, Shriyapati. So it's always Sri accompanied Narayanan. So Shri Man Narayana Charano Sharanam Prapadye. This part is called the Upayam. Upayam is that the means or margam to attaining moksham. And what is that margam? It says, I take refuge at the feet of Shri accompanied Narayana. So that is the Upayam statement of Dvayam. That is the margam. That is how you get to moksham. And then the second part is called the phalan statement of Dvayam. It says, Srimate Narayanaya Namaha. So I seek to be a servant doing kainkaryam to Shri accompanied Narayana. So that's what you get as phalan. So in Paramapadam, where you will be doing eternal kainkaryam to Shri accompanied Narayana. So once again, everything is Shri accompanied Narayana, not just plain Narayana. So the second one is considered as the phalan statement. So you'll see that in the first three slokams of nyAsa daSakam, it's essentially about the upayam. So it's essentially, we will say, I am surrendering to you, and as a means, And in slokam number 4, he's going to say, I need that phalan of being with you as an eternal servant in Paramapadam. So the fourth slokam is considered as the equivalent of Dvayam's phalan statement. So I actually have a pasuram from one of the Deshika Prabandhams. It's called Adhikara Sangraham. Now, it turns out that Swami Desikan has written a very authoritative work or grantham called Rahasya Traya Saram, the essence of the three Rahasyas. And then that is in Manipravala style. And what he has done is he has then written a Tamil Prabandham which summarizes that Rahasya Traya Saram, and that summary is called Adhikara Sangraham. Sangraham means a synopsis, Adhikara Sangraham. So it gives you a synopsis of all the Adhikarams from that Rahasya Traya Saram. And in one of those pasurams, he says, Odum Iran. So this is about the meaning of the Dvaya mantram. He says, Odum Irandai Isaithu. So from the Vedas is what it means. Odum means that is from the Vedas. There is Vedas that are chanted. Odum Vedathilirundu. Irandai Isaithu. Irandu Tani Mandirangalai Cheyanthu. So it turns out that the first part and the second part of the Dvaya mantra, they are actually in the Vedas, but not together. So what Emperor did was to bring them together and create them as the Dvaya mantram. And he was the first one to teach that mantra to Sri Devi. So Vodum Iranda Isaithe. So taking those two mantras, which were in the Vedas but separated, but Isaithe, bringing them together. And then, so that's how the Dvaya mantra was formed. And then there's a part here in the Pasuram, which is essentially about the Upayam part. And so it says, Arulal Udavum Tirumal Padam Irandum Sharanyana Patri. So Tirumal Padam Irandum Sharanyana Patri. So you see that's the part that refers to the Upayam. So essentially it says, taking refuge at the feet of Shri accompanied Narayana, Arulal Udavam Tirumal Padam Irandum Sharanyana Patri. And then it refers to the phalan part of Dvaya mantram by saying, Nam Pangayattal Nadanai Nandi நலம் திகழ் நாட்டில் அடிமையெல்லாம் கோதில் உணர்த்தியுடன் கொள்ளுமாறு குறித்தனமே. So what it says is nam pankayattal. So pankaja, so the one who is seated on the pankajam, that is the lotus flower, that of course refers to Sri Devi. Her Nathan, her consort or husband, Nanni, approaching him. Nalam digar natil refers to that Paramapadam, in the glorious land of Paramapadam. Adimai ellam kodil unarthiyudan kollumaru. Adimai ellam, being a servant to him in that glorious land. Kodil unarthiyudan, kutramillada ஞானத்துடன் அவனுடைய பரமபதத்தில் ஸ்ரீபதிக்கு அடிமை செய்யுமாறு கொள்ளுமாறு குறித்தனமே. So that's what the Dvaya Mantram is saying. So this part here, the pink part here, that refers to the Palan. So it gives the meaning of the Dvaya Mantram, and it clearly says that it has two meanings. The first part has one meaning, the second part is another meaning. And this Adhikara Sangraham Pasuram, I think it's Pasuram number 8, and it says that this is the meaning of the Dvaya Mantram. Okay, so we now know the meaning of the first 4 slokams of the Dvaya of the nyAsa daSakam. And then after that, 5 through 9 talk about life on this earth after Prapatti. So after, okay, you've done Prapatti, okay, what next? You still have your life to go through. It's not that you are given moksham immediately. So 5 through 9 talk about what Swami Desikan would like while he still continues to live on this earth, or while we continue to live on this earth. So number 5 through 9 is about life on this earth after Prapatti, and number 10 is a summary. And I also want to say that nyAsa daSakam is recited daily by many Sri Vaishnavas. It's supposed to be part of the Thiruvaradhana Kramam as well. And as I've already mentioned, that it is presented to Kanchi Peruralan. Now, one of the interesting things about the nyAsa daSakam is that there is no signature. What do I mean by signature? So usually, sometimes at the end of a stotram, the composer would put his signature there, would put his name there, saying this was composed by so-and-so, right? Now, when we went through Bhagavad Dhyana Sopanam, for example, in one slokam, the final slokam, we said, Vidvat seva vimala manasa venkateshena kluptam. So where it said, with a pure mind gained by the Acharyans anugraham, he says, venkateshena kluptam. He refers to himself. So Venkateshena Kluptam, this Venkateshan has created this work. So you see that we did see a signature in Bhagavad Dhyana Sopanam, but interestingly and very significantly, nyAsa daSakam does not contain a signature. And Acharyas point out that that is very important, because after all, when you have said that my Atma is not mine, and the protection of my Atma is not mine, etc., nothing is mine, etc., what do you mean by clinging on to your name, right? When you have given up everything that you previously thought was yours, and you say, no, none of this is mine, and I'm giving them away to Emperuman, then of course you have nothing left to cling to. So even your name, that is not yours anymore. So in that sense, he symbolically says, I've given up my name or given up my Atma, therefore I have nothing with which to put a signature to this nyAsa daSakam. So there will be no signature, and that is beautiful. Everything is his doing, and this work is not mine. So Kartrutva Tyagam, we will come across a phrase called Kartrutva Tyagam in one of the slokams, which is specifically saying, whatever I do was not done by me, it was done by him. So in that sense, even composing this nyAsa daSakam was not done by me, it was done by him. And therefore, I have no business putting my signature. Okay, so it's called Kartrutva Tyagam. And even Amalanadipiran also does not have a signature. So, Kondal Vandanai Kovalanai, Vandayundavayanan, Mullam Kavandanai, Undergone Anirangan, Nabudanai Kandarangal, Matrandanai Kanave. Where do you see the name Tirupanalvar in that? So, anyway, so that's another Prabandham, another Padiyam that does not have any signature. Okay, so with that all preface, now we are ready to start learning the slokams of nyAsa daSakam. Okay, so nyAsa daSakam, the first slokam is going to say, Aham madrakshana bharo madrakshana phalam tatha namama shripader evet yatmanam nikshipet buddha. Okay, so So I want to briefly go back to this picture because this is very important. This is exactly what this first slokam is going to say. Atma Samarpanam, my Atma is not mine, it's going to say. And then Bhara Samarpanam, the responsibility of protecting my Atma is not mine. And any fruit that comes from protecting my Atma, that is not mine either. So those three things will be stated in this very first slokam. So I have put each one of those in this boxes, in boxes. So aham madrakshana bharo madrakshana phalam tatha namama shripate revet yatmanam nikshipet buddha. So he says, my Atma, my protection and its fruit, they're all yours, they're not mine. It's very beautiful. Aham. So aham means my Atma. Aham means I, but in this case specifically it's referring to my Atma. Aham namama. You see, so the first thing he says is my Atma is not mine. Well, if it is not mine, whose it is? Shri Pater Eva. Shri Pati, Shriyah Pati Udayadadana. Shri Pater Eva means it is Shriyah Pati's only. Okay. So the first thing he says is that my Atma is not mine, it is Shri Pati's only. And then he says, the second thing that is not mine is Mad Rakshana Bharo. Yennai Rakshikkum Puruppu, Mad Rakshana Bhara. Yennai Rakshikkum Puruppu, that also is Namama, also Shri Pater Eva. Aduvum Yennudayadalla, Aduvum Shriyah Pati Agiya Sriman Narayananudayade. And then the third one, Mad Rakshana Phalam. Yennai Rakshippadal Varum Phalan. So Tata means similarly, okay, likewise. Tata, Yennai Rakshikkum Phalanum, Yennudayadu illai. Namama, Shripate Reva. Okay, so you see, it's very simple. So the first slokam simply says, these three things are not mine. Namama, Shripate Reva. And then he goes Deva, and then he says the Shripate Eva is Shripate Eva plus iti. So iti means ivaru solli, saying thus. Buddha means buddhi ullavargal. Remember the word buddhi? Buddha is people with buddhi. So buddhi ullavargal, vivegam ullavargal, and in this case it refers to the knowledge gained from an acharya. So people who have acquired philosophical knowledge from their acharya, and so they are referred to as Buddha here. So those people who have gained that knowledge, that discriminating knowledge, vivekam means that discriminating knowledge about what is real, the true nature of the Brahman, the true nature of Emperuman, the true nature of the Jivatma, etc. So those people who know that, Buddha, so they saying thus, iti means saying thus, Yatmanam, the Atmavai Nikshipet. So they will dedicate their Atma. So Swami Desikan essentially says, he doesn't say, I am doing this, but he certainly implies that. He says, people with that discriminating knowledge gained from the Acharyan, they will dedicate they will do this Bhara Samarpanam or Atma Nikshepanam, that these are all synonyms, Yatmanam Nikshipet. So they will dedicate their Atma to Emperuman, and in the process they will be dedicating these three things: Aham, their Atma, Mad Rakshana Bharo, Tannai Rakshikkum Puruppu, Mad Rakshana Phalam, Tannai Rakshippadal Varum Phalan, அவை எல்லாவற்றையும் தன்னுடையது அல்ல என்று சொல்லி ஸ்ரீயப்பதி ஆகிய ஸ்ரீமன் நாராயணனுக்கே அவர்கள் சமர்ப்பிப்பார்கள். Okay. Now this phrase namama is the most important phrase in probably nyAsa daSakam, and in fact even in Sri Vaishnavism, the phrase namama, you should really internalize it. That is the one that will get rid of ahamkaram and mamakaram. Namama is a very important phrase. Of course, the namaha is an abbreviated form of namama. So namama gives rise to namaha. So namaha has the same meaning. It's not mine. Okay. So even when you say namaste, for example, you are indirectly saying nothing is mine. So it is it's not just a greeting, it's also an expression of humility. And the humility should be real, should be sincere, it should not be contrived. Okay. So namama, get used to that phrase and get used to really meaning it when you say that, because when you do that, then you have succeeded in getting rid of ahamkaram and mamakaram. Non-periyavan and nipo. என்னுடையது பொருட்கள் இவை என்கிற நினைப்போ, think that they will go away from you. Okay, so now again, the idea of contained in this slokam is also contained in some other Desika Prabandham slogans. For example, there's some Desika Prabandham called Amrutaranjani. And Amrutaranjani, also composed by Swami Desikan, he says, Yanakku uriyan, yanadu bharam, yan peru ennadu. So he's saying, Yanakku uriyan, yanadu bharam, yan per ennadu. So you can see, do you see that these are referred to the three things that are referred to earlier? Yanakku uriyan. So the Atma ennudayadu என்கிற நினைப்பையும், எனது பரம், என்னை ரட்சிப்பது என்னுடைய பொறுப்பு என்பதையும், என் பேரு, என்னுடைய ஆத்மாவை ரட்சிப்பதால் வரும் பலன் என்னுடைய பேரு, that is my fortune என்பதும். So என்ன அது, without saying that is not saying that இவை அனைத்தும் இறை இல்லா இறை கிடைத்தோம். So without saying, instead of saying my Atma is mine, the responsibility of protecting me is mine, the palan of protecting me is mine. So instead of saying all of that, what do we say? Ivai anaithum, all of these, iraikku adaithom, we gave it to the Lord. What kind of Lord? Irai illa irai, a Lord who has no Lord at all. Irai illa irai kadaithom. Irai means iraivan. Iraivan means Lord, in this case Emperuman. So தனக்கு இறைவன் இல்லாத இறைவனாகிய எம்பெருமானிடம் இந்த மூன்றையும் ஒப்படைத்தோம். That's what he says. And then this part is very beautiful. You see, once you have done that, this is the beauty of Prapatti. Prapatti, as I see it, has two major benefits. One, of course, is that what it gives you at the end of your life. It is supposed to give you moksha. And of course, that itself is sufficient, right? So, but there is another major benefit to Prapatti. It is about how you will live the rest of your life. If you really internalize the message of Prapatti, then the rest of your life on this earth is going to be a very virtuous life. It'll be a very peaceful life. It'll be a very stress-free life. You see, because you have put the responsibility of protecting you on Emperuman. So what do you have to worry about, right? So yes, there will be some sufferings in this life. Your body will hurt. You'll have sickness, etc. Your loved ones may die, etc. So, but the point is, those are all things that you have to bear just for a limited time, because at the end of this life, you will get the Prapatti. So you will get the moksham. And therefore, it says here, it talks about how peaceful the life is. In fact, he is going to say here that now that I have done Prapatti, I feel so peaceful, I feel so blissful, that I'm, for all practical purposes, I am like a Nityasuri. I feel equal to a Nityasuri in terms of how I will feel. Inikka varum avai kavara, that is the sweet things that will come. Varum, inikka means sweet, varum avai, that is what will come, what is sweet that will come later, namely the moksham, the living eternally in Paramapadam as a servant to Emperuman. Kavara, as they attract me. So given that what comes at the end of this life, that sweet thing, given that it is so attractive, igandom sogam, we vittolithom, sogathai nangal vittolithom. So pleased by the sweet things destined to come in Paramapadam, we put a stop to our mental sufferings. Igandom sogam, igandom means to put a stop to. We lost our sufferings, we lost our sadness, etc. Imayavarodu, Imayavar refers to the Nityasuris in this case. Nityasuris are, for example, the Adishesha, Garudarvar, etc. Entities who never had to deal with karma, who have always been in Paramapadam. And so those Nityasuris, Imayavarodu ondru, equal to this Nityasuri. So the remainder of our life on this earth, which is the Nam Irukkum Nale, Ini Nam Irukkum Nale, the days that are remaining in our present life, they will be Imayavarodu ondru. They will be equal to the bliss of the Nityasuri. Inikkavarum avaikavara yagandom sogam Imayavarodu ondrini nam irukkum nale. Okay, so if you really have that Mahavishwasam, for example, that after you've done the Prapatti, yes, he will in fact give us the moksham, And then you will realize that what a great bliss this is. It's like if you're going to Hawaii, certainly getting to Hawaii is paradise, perhaps, or the equivalent of a paradise. But if you've got the boarding pass for your flight and you're waiting in that gate area, that's what we are if we have done Prapatti already. Yes, no, we are not yet in Hawaii, but the thing is we have the boarding pass, and it's only a matter of time before we are boarded and the plane takes off and we land in Hawaii, right? So the feeling that you get when you have that boarding pass and you're waiting in the gate area, that is what life is like when you have done Prapatti, and you know that you have something great to look forward to, namely that bliss that comes at the end, which is Paramapadam, okay? But then you might ask things like, okay, well, but who will protect my family when I leave this earth? For example, somebody goes to an Acharyan and says, Swami, the doctor, நான் 6 மாசம் தான் இருப்பேன்னு சொல்றார் அவர். நான் போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் என்னோட குடும்பத்தை யாரு காப்பாத்த போறா அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு கவலை இருக்கு அப்படின்னு நீங்க சொல்றேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. அதுக்கு ஆச்சாரியன் சொல்லுவார், சரி, இவ்வளவு நாளைக்கு உன்னோட குடும்பத்தை யாரு ரட்சிச்சான்னு நீ நினைச்சுட்டு இருக்க? Who do you think has been protecting your family all this time? And that gets you into that deep thought. Oh my goodness, I thought I was the one who was protecting them, but it looks like it's Emperman who has been protecting them. And therefore, he will continue to protect them if, in fact, I leave tomorrow. I leave this earth tomorrow, for example. So who do you think has been protecting them so far? So the answer is really in the form of a question. And there's a slokam that says, Atma Rajyam Dhanam Chaiva Kalatram Vahananicha Yetad Bhagavate Sarvam Iti Tat Prekshitam Sadam. So that's exactly what it means. So Atma, our soul, Rajyam, our kingdom, Dhanam, our wealth, Chaiva, and Kalatram is our wife, Vahananicha, our vehicles, etc. These are all things that are given by Emperman. Yetad Bhagavate Sarvam Iti Tat Prekshitam Sadam. So don't think of them as yours. So don't think that it is your responsibility to protect them. They have been protected by Emperman all this time, and so he will continue to protect them. So that's the kind of attitude that you should have if you have done Prapatti, okay? Okay, so now that we have learned the meaning of this slokam, we can chant it. Now, I mentioned that all the slokams are just 2 lines long, and they use this meter called Anushtup Chandas. For example, Bhagavad Gita, practically all of Bhagavad Gita uses that Anushtup Chandas. For example, so we will try to use that same ragam, if you will. For example, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja. So you will use the same kind of ragam. Aham Madrakshana Bharo Madrakshana Phalam Tata. We will do that, okay? So anyway, so I'll take half a line each time and I will chant it. You can chant after me, and then we will chant the full slokam after that. Aham Madrakshana Bharo Aham Madrakshana Bharo Madrakshana Phalam Tata Madrakshana Phalam Tata Namama Shri Pate Revet Namama Shri Pate Revet Yatmanam Nikshiped Buddha Yatmanam Nikshiped Buddha. So now we'll say that the whole slokam, and let's say this slokam twice, not for A because it's the very first slokam, so we would normally repeat it, but also because the slokams are very short, so you won't be losing much time by saying it one more time. Okay, so we'll say it twice together. So say it with me. Aham let me start again. Aham Madrakshana Bharo Madrakshana Palam Tatha Namama Shri Pate Revet Yatmanam Nikshiped Buddha. Again, one more time. Aham Madrakshana Bharo Madrakshana Palam Tatha Namama Shri Pate Revet Yatmanam Nikshiped Buddha. Okay, so that was first slokam. So that corresponded to the top part of the figure that we drew, where we identify 3 things and say, none of these is mine, they're all Emperman's. And now comes the part where we identify the 5 angas of Prapatti, and Swami Desikan says, with these 5 angas, I'm doing Prapatti, okay? Okay, so he's going to say, Nyasyam yakinchana Shriman anukulonya varjita vishwasa prarthana purvam atmaraksha bharam tvayi. Okay, so Nyasyam yakinchana Shriman. So this again is very simple. So this is the one that is going to name the 5 parts of the 5 angas. So Nyasyam yakinchana Shriman anukulonya varjita. Okay, so the first thing you start with is Shriman. So he starts by saying, O Shriyapati. By the way, remember that I mentioned that the first 3 slokams are kind of a restatement of Dvayam, in the sense that first of all, they address the Shriyapati, not just Narayana, Shriyapati, and then they'll mention the Upayam. The Upayam is, I surrender at your feet as a means of getting to moksha. And of course, that's what the first slokam was about. It said, I'm giving up all of these things. That's part of my prapatti to you. That's part of my surrender to you, which is my means for attaining moksha. And this one is also about about the margam, or the means used for attaining moksha. It's going to say, by using these 5 angas, I am dedicating my atma to you, and I'm surrendering to you. So once again, it is about upayam. And so the first thing to note is that it is referring to Sriman. So it's addressing Emperuman as Shriyapati or Sriman, or Sri accompanied Swamin. And then what is the next thing? It says, Nyasyami. So Nyasyami, that is a first person verb. Nyasyami. Nyasyami samarpikkinre. So I am surrendering. So the reason I mentioned that this is first person is that later he's going to use the third person, and he's going to say, even that surrendering was not done by me, that surrendering was done by Emperuman on my behalf. Okay, but during this particular sloka, he's using the first person. So he's saying, Nyasyami nan samarpikkinre. Okay, so I am laying down, I'm dedicating, he says. Now, what is it that he is laying down or dedicating? Atma Raksha Bharam. Ennudaya Atmavai Rakshikkum Puruppu. So you see, so he says, I am giving you the responsibility of protecting my Atma, the Atma Raksha Bharam. So I'm doing that. So that's the next part of this slokam. And then, but where is it? Samarpikkiren, but yaridam samarpikkiren? Tvayi nan unnidam samarpikkiren. So you see, Shriman, O Shriyapati, Nyasyami nan samarpikkiren, Atma Raksha Bharam, ennudaya Atmavai Rakshikkum Puruppai, Tvayi unnidam samarpikkiren. And then he goes on to describe himself. He describes himself as Yakinchana. Akinchana, he says. Akinchana, so saying, I am a destitute. Kinchittum, எனக்கு சக்தி கிடையாது. Bhakti yogam செய்வதற்கு சக்தி கிடையாது. So when you say that becomes, it's called akinchanan. And that is a form of saying, that we call this karpanyam. Karpanyam is to say that I am a destitute. Okay, so that's one of the 5 angas. You may remember that picture of one who's holding that, beggar holding that alms can in his hand. So think of that. So that is the part here. The karpanyam part is mentioned here. It says, I am an akinchanan. So I am a destitute, unsuited for any other upayam. So as you see, it's like, so that's one thing, you can put a check on it. There are 5 things that we should come across. One is karpanyam, and that is here, akinchanam. And then he goes on to say anukula. So he says, I will do anukulya sankalpam. So I will do only the things that please you. Anukulo. So that's number 2. So you can put a check mark on item number 2, anukulya sankalpam. And then he goes on to say anya varjita. Anya is anything outside of that, anything foreign. So anything outside of anukulyam, that is pratikulyam. So that is so saying anya varjita really amounts to saying pratikulya varjanam, right? So anything that displeases you, I will avoid doing them. So you see, now you can put a check mark on pratikulya varjanam. I will not do the things that displease you. So now we have 3 check marks already, and then we are looking for 2 more. And he says Vishwasa prarthana purvam, vishwasa, well, you know that it is referring to Maha Vishwasam. So along with great faith, so purvam means adai munne vaittu, vishwasathayum, prarthanayum munne vaittu. So nyasami, நான் சமர்ப்பிக்கிறேன். Vishwasam is of course the great Maha Vishwasam. So that's the fourth item that we were looking for. And prarthana, after all, Goptrutva Varnam is just a prayer, right? You say Rakshamam Sharanagatam, Ennai Kapatru, right? Na Sharanadendu Vittain, Ennai Kapatru. That prayer is really Goptrutva Varnam. And that prayer, that prarthana, that of course is the fifth item here. So you see the 5 angas are just mentioned. So the whole purpose of this slokam is to say, I am dedicating the responsibility of protecting my Atma at your feet, and I'm using all the 5 angis. I'm first declaring that I am a destitute, first of all addressing Emperor Sriman. I'm declaring that I am a destitute, that is Karpanyam, and I'm saying that I will only do Anukulya Sankalpams, that is Anukulya Sankalpam, Anya Varjita, that is Pratikulya Varjanam, that is number 3, Vishwasa, Maha Vishwasam, number 4, then Prarthana, the prayer, Rakshamam Sharanagatam, which is Goptrutva Varnam. So with that's it. With those 5 angas, I'm doing prapatti to you. So the meaning is very simple. O Shri accompanied Swamin, I realize that there are 5 angas to Bhara Samarpanam. I'm committed to them. Anukulya Sankalpam, indicated by this Anukulo. Pratikulya Varjanam, indicated by Anya Varjita. This Karpanyam or Akinchanyam, this in the form of this Yakinchana. Maha Vishwasam in the form of this Vishwasa. Goptrutva Varnam, which is really a prayer to protect me, in the form of this Prarthana. So you can see that I'm doing all of these 5 angams, performing these 5 angas. I lay down the responsibility of protecting my soul at your feet. Okay, so that's very very simple and very beautiful. Now, well, what are things like, what exactly are the Anukulya Sankalpam things and what are Pratikulya Varjanam? So essentially, for example, Pratikulya Varjanam, we should avoid, for example, Bhagavat Apacharam. I mean, obviously anything that says Bhagavat Apacharam, that would clearly be in the category of Pratikulya Varjanam, the forbidden list, right? And similarly, Bhagavata Apacharam. So that also is in the category of Pratikulya Varjanam. So it should be clearly avoided, right? And of course, Anukulya Sankalpam, what are the things that please Emperman? In general, the things that are required by the Shastras for you to do, those are things that Emperman would like for you to do. So in that sense, those constitute Anukulya Sankalpam, things that you should be doing. But in Bhagavad Gita, I just wanted to give you a couple of slokas from Bhagavad Gita, which are very interesting, which almost seem like they are trying to give examples of what this Anukulya Sankalpam is. So this comes from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, the verses number 13 and 14. They go together. These 2 verses go together. But in the end there, Bhagavan Krishna says that certain bhaktas who have certain properties, and he's going to name what those properties are, and that's what I'm saying might correspond to this Anukulya Sankalpam, certainly maybe not comprehensively, but at least partly. And then so Bhagavan Krishna says, Yo Mad Bhakta Same Priyaha. So what does he say here? So Yo Mad Bhaktaha, Ennudaya Bhaktargal, Yavargal இந்த குணங்களை உடையவர்களாக இருக்கின்றார்களோ அவர்கள் மே எனக்கு பிரியக மிகவும் பிடித்தவர்கள். யோ மத் பக்தக, என்னுடைய பக்தர்கள் யாவர் இந்த குணங்களை உடையவர்களாக இருக்கின்றார்களோ அவர்கள் எனக்கு மிகவும் பிரியமானவர்கள். You see, doesn't that sound like he's stating what Anukulya Sankalpam is or what things please him? Okay, well, what are those things that he is referring to here? Okay, so he says here, Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. You know the word Dveshtam means Dvesham, right? So Dvesham means hatred, or so Adveshta means the freedom from that hatred or freedom from malice, the Sarva Bhutanam, toward all living beings. So Bhagavan Krishna says that's a property, that's a quality that I like very much in a mad bhakta, in my bhakta. And if he has that and a few other things that I'm going to mention, well, I tell you, they are very dear to me. So same priyaha. Okay, so certainly freedom from malice, adveshta sarva bhutanam. Then maitraha, so from someone who is friendly, someone who is friend to everyone. Well, he is also dear to me. So someone who has all these properties. Then karuna evacha. Karuna means compassionate. So karuna. So you must be compassionate. If you're not, for me to say that I really is very dear to me. And then nirmamo. Mama means, of course, yennudayade or mamakaram. So nirmama means one who is free from that mamakaram. Well, I like that in a bhakta of mine. Nirahankaraha, one who does not have the ahankaram, I like him. So, okay, so, and then he says, Samaduhka sukhaha. Sama duhka sukhaha. Dukkam sukam எல்லாவற்றிலும் ஒரே மாதிரியா சமநிலையில் இருப்பவன் எனக்கு மிகவும் பிடித்த பக்தன். Now this part here, the Samadukha Sukha, that comes very frequently in Bhagavad Gita. Even in chapter number 2, for example, Matra Sparshasta Kaunteya Sitoshna Sukha Dukkata Agama Payino Nityas Tam Stitikshasva Bharata. So where he says essentially that all this suffering and happiness, so sukha and dukkha, sukhangalum, dukkhangalum, they are kind of like Sita, Ushna. So they're kind of like, the seasons, like the summer and winter. Agama payino nityas. They will come, they will go. Agama payina anityas. They are impermanent. Tam stitikshasva bharata. Availai பொறுப்பதற்கு நீ கற்றுக்கொள். Oh, Bharata, oh Arjuna, that's what he says. Matras Pashasta Kaunteya, oh Kunti in Putrane, Kaunteya, Kunti in Putrane, Matras Pashasta. So these all this pain and the sufferings and pleasure, pain and pleasure, they are nothing but the sensations arising from your sense organ coming into contact with the outside world. That's all they are. And like seasons, they will come and go. But try to be equipoised, try to tolerate them. And it also comes in several other times as well. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Siddhi, asiddhi. So the success and failure, samo bhutva, treating them the same. Samatvam, that equanimity, that treating them as that same, that is called yoga uchyate. Adaithan yogam endru solgiraர்கள். So Bhagavan Krishna keeps saying this. So this is very important as well, being equipoised in distress and happiness. And then kshami means forgiving. So if Bhakta is forgiving, that's good as well. Contented, so he has no greed. He doesn't want anything more than devotion, etc. And he's steadily united in devotion to me. So santush. So he says santushta. Santushta is contented. Satatam yogi. So he's steadily devoted, united in devotion with me. And then yatatma. Yatatma means he is self-controlled. He will be self-controlled because he is united in devotion with me. So he will be detached from the world. He will have that vairagyam, and so hence he will have the good control of his mind. And then he will also be firm in conviction. Dridhanishchaya, he says, firm in conviction, because he will possess knowledge of the shastras and the acharya's teachings, etc. So he cannot be swayed. He will be firm in conviction. And then he will be mayyarpita mano buddhir. So he will be dedicated to me in mind and intellect. So any bhakta of mine who has all of these properties, these bhaktas of mine are very dear to me. So yo mad bhakta same priyaha. Okay. So maybe you can refer to this to know, okay, what exactly are some of the things that I should strive for. I'm not saying that this is a comprehensive list. There may be other things as well. But at least it's interesting that Emperman has clearly enumerated a very specific list of things that would please him in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Now, so here's another elaboration of that slokam. Remember, the purpose of this slokam is to say that I'm doing prapatti with these 5 angas. Now, there's also a Deshika Prabandham called Amrita Swadini, in which he says those same things. So I'm doing prapatti with these 5 angas. And these are relatively easy to understand. It says, Ninnarulam gati andri matru ondru illen, Nin arulam, your mercy is my gati. Andri matru ondri ille. Other than that, I have nothing else. So he's saying, your mercy is my refuge. I have nothing else. So that's a way of saying karpanyam. I have nothing else. So your mercy is what I need. So that's taken as karpanyam. Nedungalam pirai seida nilai karindhen. For a long time, I was doing wrong things, he says. Nedungalam pirai seiden. But now I've gotten smarter. So that state I got rid of. I've been doing wrong forever, but that is behind me. So which of the 5 prapatti, the angas does it correspond to? It corresponds to pratikulya varjanam, because now I'm determined not to do them at all, doing those wrong things. Okay, so that is pratikulya varjanam. Unnarulukku inidana nilayugandhen. So I've chosen a path that is fully aligned with your grace. Well, what anga does it correspond to? It means I will do the things that please you. So anukulya sankalpam is what that is. Unsharane sharanyannum tunivu punden. The word tunivu means courage. Now Mahavishwasam is a form of courage, because you see, it's a courage that yes, he will come and he will save me. So I don't have to worry about it. This will happen. So something, he will save me. Unsharane sharanyannum tunivu punden. Your feet are my sole refuge. Uncharane Sharan. I've developed that great faith, that Mahavishwasam. So you see, that corresponds to the 4th angam called Mahavishwasam. And then the Goptrutva Varnam occurs in the next 2 lines. Manvirulai nindra nilai yanakku tirthu. That is, please dispel my state of dark ignorance. Man irulai nindra nilai yanakku tirthu. Yanakku tirpayaga. Irul அஜ்ஞானம் என்கிற இருளை நீ எனக்கு போக்கி வானவர்தம் வாழ்ச்சி தர வரித்தேன் உன்னை. So give me the life of the Nitya Suris. Vanavar refers to the Nitya Suris. அவர்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையை எனக்கும் தருவாய். Namely, give me the life in Paramapadam. என்று வரித்தேன். Varitthen means பிரார்த்தித்தேன் உன்னை. Of course, anything that when you pray to, that of course is Goptrutva Varnam. So anyway, so now you can see that he has done the 5 angas, refer to all the 5 angas, and then he completes it by saying, with all of this, I'm doing Parasamarpanam. Innarulal ini yanakku bharam etramal. With your sweet mercy, Innarulal ini yanakku or bharam etramal. Please, no more burden on me. Yen Thirumal, O Sri Devi's love. He says, you see, this is the equivalent of Sriman. Adekkalam kol ennai niye. Please take me into your protection. And that corresponds to Atma or Bharasamarpanam. Okay, so that is another Tamil Pasuram that essentially refers to the 5 angas of Prapatti again. So if you go through Desika Slokams, Desika Stotrams, and Desika Prabandhams, you will come across the Prapatti, the aspects of Prapatti many times. Okay, let's go back and try to chant this particular slokam. Nyasyam yakinchana shriman, Nyasyam yakinchana shriman, anukulonyavarjitaha, anukulonyavarjitaha, vishwasa prarthana purvam, vishwasa prarthana purvam, atma raksha bharam tvayi, atma raksha bharam tvayi. Okay, so now we'll say the whole slokam. We'll do that twice. Normally, this being a second slokam, it won't have to be repeated. But because the slokams are short throughout this stotram, we will try to chant them twice. Nyasyam yakinchana shriman anukulonyavarjitaha vishwasa prarthana purvam atma raksha bharam tvayi. One more time. Nyasyam yakinchana shriman anukulonyavarjitaha vishwasa prarthana purvam atma raksha bharam tvayi. Okay, very short. So like I said, the whole stotram, if you say it in one stretch, it'll probably take 2 to 2.5 minutes at the most. Okay, now, so the third slokam, and remember that I said that the first 3 slokams together talk about the upayam, part of Daya Mantram. So this is also part of that upayam statement. Now the bottom line message from this mantra, this slokam, is whatever I do is his doing. Okay, so he's going to say, in the previous slokam, he used a first person verb, nyasyami, he said, samarpikiren, he said, but here he is going to say, nyasyati. Nyasyati is a third person verb, avan samarpikkinran. That is, Emperman, என்னுடைய ஆத்மாவை அவன் சமர்ப்பிக்கின்றான். Okay? Okay. So let me read the slokam. So it says, Swami, there will be the prefix swa will appear many times in this slokam, and that is interesting. So that prefix swa indicates tane, tanake, tannudaya, etc. So avane panninan, avane seidu kondan, avanukkaga seidu kondan, etc. So the prefix swa is going to occur multiple times in this slokam, and their purpose is to say, I didn't do anything, he's the one who did it, and he's the one who did it for himself, etc. Okay, so it says, Swami swashesham swavasham swabharatvena nirbharam swadatta swadhya swartham swasmin yasyati mam swayam. Okay, so first he's going to say Swami. So Swami refers to the Supreme Lord. So this Supreme Lord, the Mam, Yennai, Nyasyati, Samarpitkiran. So this Supreme Lord in the Swami, Mam, Yennai, Nyasyati, Samarpitkiran. See, that's the bottom line statement. Now Swami Desikan is not saying, I am non-Yennai Samarpitkiran. He's not saying that anymore. He has changed the person from the first person to the third person, because the realization now is that whatever I do is not done by me. He's the prime mover. He's the one who's pulling the strings. Okay, so Swami Mam Nyasyati, avan Swami anavan Yennai Samarpittan. Now, and then the next word to look at is Swasmin. So Swasmin means Tannidame. So avan Yennai Samarpittan. Swasmin means Tannidame. Swayam Tane Samarpittan. You see, it's very interesting. So the Swami anavan Yennai Samarpittan, Tannidam Samarpittan, Tane Samarpittan. Do you see that? So Tannidam Samarpittan, Tane Samarpittan is trying to say, I had nothing to do with this at all. I was almost a silent spectator watching this whole thing happening. And then he's going to now, there are a few things he's going to say to describe himself. So the Swashesham and Swavasham are descriptive of Swami Desikan. So Swashesham, Tanakku Adimayaga ulla ennai. Swashesham, Tanakku Adimayaga ulla ennai. Swavasham, Vasham, you know the Tamil word, Avan Vasham nu solromo illaiyo. En Vasham onnum illai nu solromo illaiyo. That Vasham is what that Swavasham is. தனக்கு அடிமையான என்னை தன் வசப்பட்ட என்னை சமர்ப்பித்துக் கொண்டான். So see, these two words are qualifiers describing Swami Desikan. So if again, let's go through this again. Swami ஆனவன் என்னை, எப்படிப்பட்ட என்னை, அவனுக்கு தனக்கு அடிமைப்பட்ட என்னை, தன் வசப்பட்ட என்னை, one who is under his control, அவன் சமர்ப்பித்துக் கொண்டான். யஸ்யதி சமர்ப்பித்துக் கொண்டான், தன்னிடமே சமர்ப்பித்துக் கொண்டான், தானே சமர்ப்பித்துக் கொண்டான். And not only that, if you look at then the third line, swadatta swadhiya swartham. Datta means to give. தானே எனக்கு கொடுத்த swadhiya. Dhiya means knowledge. Dhiyo yona prachodayad. You know, in Gayatri Mantram we say, let it stimulate my intellect. So that's what that dhiya means. Swadatta, தானே எனக்கு கொடுத்த ஸ்வதிய, தன்னை பற்றிய அறிவை தானே தன்னுடைய பிரயோஜனத்திற்காக உபயோகித்து. So you see, to do prapatti, it requires that intelligence, that jnanam. That jnanam was also given by him. That jnanam about himself was given by him, and he used that jnanam to make me to do surrender. and he did it for his own benefit, for his own palan. So you see, Svadatta Tane Yanakku Alitha Svadhiya Tannai Patriya Arivudan Nesyati Samarpittu Kondan Swartham Tannudaya Prayojanattukkaga Tannudaya Palanukkaga. So you see that more of this, he did this, he did that, etc. And finally he says, is in such a way that nirbharam, I have no bharam at all. I have no responsibility anymore. Swabharatvena, thane puruppai eduttukkondan, swabharatvena. So you see, that's what this whole slokam is about. It says everything was done by him. I had nothing to do with it. I was merely watching, and then he did everything. Certainly I needed knowledge to do prapatti. That knowledge was given by him. The knowledge was about him, and he used that knowledge. He gave me that knowledge. He used that knowledge to make me do prapatti, and he did it for his own benefit, etc. Okay, so it's very beautiful. So the whole meaning is to say, I had nothing to do with this. I was just an observer. So here's the summary. He is the Supreme Lord of us all. I am his servant. That is the Swashesham part. I am under his control. That is the Swavasham part. He himself gave me knowledge. That is the Svadatta part. About himself. That is the Swadhiya part. Using that knowledge, he takes me as his full responsibility. See, that is Svabharatvena. That is as his full responsibility. He takes me, that is Nyasyati, and I samarpittu kondan, as his full responsibility, without any responsibility to myself. That is the nirbharam part. Any benefit that accrues from it is also his. That is the swartham part. Tannudiya palanukkagave samarpittu kondan. I have nothing to do with this palan. And then he is surrendering myself to himself. The swasmin tannidame samarpittu kondan. Swayam Tane Samarpittu Kundan. Okay. Now, this is a very important slokam because the acharyas say that this is a statement of something they call Sattviga Tyagam. Because you see, he's giving up everything. He's not taking credit for anything at all. So that is called a Sattviga Tyagam. And they say that it has three parts to it. One is called Kartrutva Tyagam. Once again, I should mention to you that you should not be intimidated by new words that are being thrown at you. Don't worry about that, even if you don't remember those words. If you understand the concepts that they stand for, then that's fine. In the process of going through the Sri Vaishnavite Slokams, Stotrams about Prapatti, many of these words will be repeated and eventually you will learn them, okay? Kartrutva Tyagam, it simply means I don't do anything by myself. He is using me to do things, okay? So don't think that anything that you did was done by you. If you realize that, then that means you're doing Kartrutva Tyagam. I don't do anything by myself. He is using me to do things, okay? And similarly, Mamata Tyagam. So the Mamata Tyagam is if any benefits, yes, okay, I did something which I now realize was done by him. Now, but if any benefits arise out of that act, so if any benefits arise out of that act, it is not because I did it. It is because of him. So you see, the benefit is not because of anything that I did. So if there is a benefit, that is not a credit to me. It is a credit to him. Now, in Bhagavad Gita, you remember the most famous slokam from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 47. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Ma, this is the third part. This is the most interesting part. Ma karma phalahetur bhur. That exactly is, this is Mamata Tyagam, Mate Sangostva Karmani. What does that mean? The Ma Karma Phala Hetur Bhur. When there is a palan to an act, don't think that you are the cause of that palan. Ma Karma Phala Hetur Bhur. Do not think. Ma means do not. Karma Phala Hetu. Karma Palanukku Hetu alladu Karanam Ni endru ninaikade. So that's exactly what this Mamata Tyagam is. If any benefits arise out of my act, it is not because of my act, it is because of him, okay? And then Phala Tyagam, benefits of any act, they don't belong to me, they are his. So that, of course, is Ma Phaleshu Kadachana. We don't have a right to the fruits because the fruits are not yours. So Karmanyeva adhikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana. So that Ma Phaleshu Kadachana, You don't have any right to the fruits of your action. That's kind of like saying palatyagam, benefits of any act don't belong to me. They are his. Ma karma palahetur bhur. Don't think that you are the cause of any palans, of any acts that you did. And so that, of course, is mamata tyagam. Okay, so in some sense, there is some similarity between this and that most famous slokam of Bhagavad Gita. And so palatyagam, benefits of any act don't belong to me. They are his. Okay. And so this again is an example of dvayam upayam, because it's about I'm surrendering to you. Actually, he surrendered me to himself. So I think I mentioned that phrase last week. Sometimes you hear people saying, well, I didn't volunteer, I was volunteered. Well, that's exactly what Swami Desikan is saying here. I didn't surrender to him, I was surrendered by him to him, etc. Okay, that's the nature of this third slokam. Now, Swami Nammarvar has said something similar in his Tiruvai as well. This is a very beautiful Tiruvai, and in fact, all Tiruvaimaris are very beautiful. He says, Sirgandu Gundu Tirundhanallin Kavi, Nerpadai Ansullum Nirmai Ilamayil, and so on. So let me first give you the meaning of this. So he says, I am a poet. So I have written all these wonderful poems that the whole world recognizes as great. Now that sounds like bragging, right? Well, okay, you will see later that he's not really bragging. So what he says, however, is that I wish I wrote them myself, but the truth is I did not. There are two things I needed to write those beautiful poems. Now remember that these poems are about Emperuman. So the subject is Emperuman. And so in order to write beautiful poems about that subject called Emperuman, I needed to know two things. One is I needed knowledge of the subject. And he says, nope, I didn't have that subject. So you see, Sir Kandu Gundu, Emperumanuடைய குணங்களின் கல்யாண குணங்களை கண்டுகொண்டு இலாமையல். You see, I didn't have knowledge of Emperuman's kalyana gunas, which are, after all, the subject of my poetry, my Tiruvai. So you see, there are two things I needed to know. One is I needed to know enough about my subject so that I could put that content properly. The second is, since they are in the form of poems, I needed to know that the grammar of poetry, the Vyakaranam, if you will. And he says, I didn't know that either. So you see, the first two lines essentially say that the two essential things that I needed to write good poetry about Emperuman, I didn't know either of them. Sir Kandu Gundu Ilamayil. So this Ilamayil is kind of borrowed by both of these things. Sir Kandu Gundu Ilamayil. I was totally lacking in knowledge of his Kalyana Gunas. Avanuடைய சீரை, அவனுடைய கல்யாண குணங்களை கண்டு அறிந்து கொள்ளும் ஞானம் எனக்கு இல்லை. And not only that, I didn't have knowledge about the grammar of poetry. How else am I going to write poetry if I don't know what the rules are? Tirundu nal in kavi, nerpada yan sollum nirmai. So the ability to write poems, nal in kavi, good, sweet poems, are nerpada yan sollum, aragaga sollum nirmai, capacity, ilamayil. I didn't have that capacity either. So he says, on top of that, I didn't have the poetic prowess needed to compose beautiful, sweet pasurams well. So you see, he says, there were two things I needed to do this well, and I struck out on both of those, he says. But still, I wrote beautiful poems that the world is celebrating. And I wonder how, he says, Yervila yennai tannaki. So the reason I was able to write a lot of poems about him, poems that the world admires, it's because Yervila yennai tannaki. So you see, he's downplaying himself. Yervila yennai, oru thiramayam illada yennai tannaki. So he gave kataksham, he made me his servant. He gave me kataksham to this utterly incapable one and made me his own, made me his servant. And then yennal tannai, using me as an instrument, about himself, par paravu inkavi padum paramare. Tannai par paravu, world acclaimed. Par means world, paravu means paravi irukkum, or that is spread throughout the world because they are well recognized, well acclaimed. Inkavi, sweet poems, padum paramare. So this Lord is the one who has composed those great poems using me as the instrument and about himself. ஏர்விலா என்னை தன்னாக்கி ஒரு திறமையும் இல்லாத என்னை தன்னுடைய ஆளாக்கி என்னால் என்னை கருவியாக உபயோகித்து தன்னை பற்றி அவனே கவிதைகள் எழுதி கொண்டான். அந்த கவிதைகள் உலகம் முழுவதும் பரவி இருக்கிறது. It is acclaimed by the whole world. It is acclaimed by the whole world, he says. Okay, so it's very beautiful. So he says, I didn't do anything, he did everything. So the knowledge about how to compose poetry, he gave it to me. The knowledge about the subject, the Kalyana Gunas of Emperman, he gave it to me. And in fact, he made me his own servant, and then he wrote poems all by himself. So just used me as an instrument, okay? And then he says, the result is poems that are recognized, that are acclaimed by the whole world, you know. In fact, the same Tyagaraja Swami also says something along similar lines. He says, Dasharate Nirunamudirpa Natharama, son of Dasharati, O Sri Rama, will I be ever able to repay your kindness? That's the beginning Pallavi of that Kriti. But in Anupallavi, he says, Asa Tira, to my heart's content, when என்னுடைய ஆசைகள் தீருமாறு, Dura Deshamulano, even in faraway lands, Prakasimpa Jesine, you made my name shine, he says. Prakasimpa Jesine, Rasika Shiromani, you are the crown jewel of Rasikas, he says. Prakasimpa Jesine, Rasika Shiromani, you are the one who did that. I had nothing to do with, says Saint Tyagaraja. That's exactly what Sri Namarvar is saying as well. Okay, and so that going back to Swami Deshikan's slokam, that is the whole entire content of this slokam. Whatever I do is his doing. So remember this tyagams, and so whatever you do, it was not done by you. If there's anything good that comes out of this, that's not a credit to you. If the credit goes to Peruman, and if any palans are arising from that effort or from that work, that's not yours. That are Emperumans as well. Okay. So let's try to chant this. Swami Swashesham Swavasham, Swami Swashesham Swavasham, Swabharatvena Nirbharam, Swabharatvena Nirbharam, Swadatta Swadhiya Swartham, Swadatta Swadhiya Swartham, Swasmin Yasyadimam Swayam, Swasmin Yasyadimam Swayam. So let's again say the whole slokam twice. Swami Swashesham Swavasham, Swabharatvena Nirbharam, Swadatta Swadhiya Swartham, Swasmin Yasyadimam Swayam. One more time. Swami Swashesham Swavasham, Swabharatvena Nirbharam, Swadatta Swadhiya Swartham, Swasmin Yasyadimam Swayam. It's a beautiful slokam. I think, just like Tirukkural is beautiful because he puts so much into 1 3/4 lines, this nyAsa daSakam is beautiful for the same reason as well. He packs so much into these 2 very short lines of this Anushtup Chandas. Okay, number 4. Now I mentioned earlier that the 4th slokam moves from Upayam to the Palan. Okay, so he said, so the bottom line is, Sriman Narayana, grant me eternal kainkaryam at your lotus feet when I die. So that's going to be the bottom line statement, and that of course is talking about the Palan. Okay, talking about the Upayam, if you will. Now, this is the first slokam where you get to see that he is specifically addressing the Perumal in Kanchipuram. So in fact, in all of the pages here, because the content of every slokam itself is kind of abstract and cannot be easily illustrated with pictures. So what I've done is I put the picture of Varadaraja Perumal on the left-hand side on most of the pages, and the picture of Swami Deshikan on the right-hand side. Okay. So this one is which is about the Upayam, the Palan. Sriman Abhishta Varada. So the word Varada appears here, referring to the Perarulalan or Varadarajan of Kanchipuram. Okay. Tvamasmi Sharanam Gataha Etad Dehavasane Mam Tatpadam Prapaya Swayam. Okay. Shriman Abhishta Varada Tvamasmi Sharanam Gataha Etad Dehavasane Mam Tatpadam Prapaya Swayam. Okay. So the first thing is, so he's saying, he's addressing Emperuman, Shriman, O Emperuman, who is never separated from Periya Pirati, that is Shriman, Shri accompanied Emperuman. Okay, so see, then Abhishta Varada. So this is also addressing the Varadaraja Perumal. He says, O Varada, Abhishta, Ishtapatta Varatai Kodupavane. Abhishta Varada means Bhaktargal Ishtapatta Varatai Kodupavane. That is what Abhishta Varada means. And then Tvam Asmi Sharanam Gataha. Tvam Asmi Sharanam Gataha. It means Asmi, Tvam, Unnidam, Sharanam Gataha. Sharanam Adainda Nilayil, Asmi, Nan Irikkiren. So he said, I've already surrendered to you. Tvam Asmi Sharanam Gataha. It means I've already surrendered to you. Unnidathil Sharanam Adainda Nilayil, Nan Irikkiren Asmi. And then here comes his request. What should happen at the end of his life? Etad Deha Avasane Mam. Etad Deha Avasane. Etad means in the. Deham. Deha means Shariram. Avasane Mudivu. In the Dehathin Mudivu. Yennai. Tvatpadam Prapaya Swayam. Unnuடைய பாதத்தை நான் அடைய வைப்பாயாக. Prapaya. Niye, Swayam, Niye Adaya Vipayaga. So Etad Dehavasane, at the end of this Shariram, that is when the Shariram dies, Mam Yennai Tvatpadam Unnudaya Tiruvadiyai Prapaya Adayimaru Seivayaga, Swayam Niye Seivayaga. Okay, so it's a very simple meaning. O Shriman, O Shri accompanied Emperuman. Abhishta Varada, one who gives all the boons that are desired by the devotees. Tvam Asmi Sharanam Gataha. I've already surrendered to you. I'm in a surrendered state now. Etad Deha Avasane. This Shariram, when it reaches its end, Mam, Tvat Padam Prapaya Swayam. Unnudaya Padatai Adaya Vipayaga, Niye Adaya Vipayaga. Okay? So again, the meaning is very simple. It refers to the Upayam or the Palan. O Emperuman, who is never separated from Periya Pirati. And then the Lord of Mercy, that is Varada, O Lord of Mercy, who gives all the boons desired by all the Bhagavatas. And thus you have acquired the name Varada. I have already surrendered to you. When this body of mine reaches its eventual end, please let me attain your lotus feet. And though he doesn't say it explicitly, he means that immerse myself in eternal kainkaryam to you. Of course, when I attain your lotus feet in Paramapadam, I want to be doing eternal kainkaryam to you. Now that is something he says it implicitly here, and he will say it more explicitly in the next few slokams as well. Now there are a couple of things that are worth elaborating here. One is Swami Desikan's affinity for Varadaraja Perumal or Deva Perumal or Perarulalan of Kanchipuram. He really was fond of that Perumal. There are many stotrams of his that are dedicated to him. And so, for example, about how generous he is, he's talked about it multiple times. For example, Karudavaram Tarudaiva Perumal Vandar. So in Tiruchinnamalai, which is also one of the Deshika Prabandhams, that is one of the Tamil poetry written by Swami Desikan. Karuda Varam Tarum, Bhaktargal Karudiya, Ninaita Varatai Tarum, Deva Perumal Vanda, referring to this Varadaraja Perumal. And the Perumal came, he says, Karuda Varam Tarudaiva Perumal Vanda. That, of course, that is exactly the translation of Abhishta Varada, Ishtapattadai Kodupavan. Okay. And then there's in Artha Panchagam also, there's another Deshika Prabandham, he says, Pugal Ulagil Illadu, Ponnarul Kandu Utravarkum, Agalagila Anbarkum, Andre Tanarul Koduthu, Pahaladanal Param Kangul Vidivikum, Pangayatal, Agalagilain Endurayam, Attigiri Arulmugile. It's another very beautiful pasuram about how generous this Varadaraja Perumal is. Pugal ulagil illade. For those who have no refuge in this world, they ponnarul kandu. They first, after they get the Purushakaram of Sri Devi, Pon Arul Kandu, refers to the mercy of Sri Devi. After getting her mercy, உற்றவர்க்கும், so அவனை அடைந்தவர்களுக்கும் வரதராஜ பெருமாளை அடைந்தவர்களுக்கும். So he talks about the people who get these beautiful varams or boons from him. So one is those people who have no refuge in this world and who made Sharanagati to Tayar first and then surrendered to him, to them. And Agalagila Anbarkum. So the word Agalagila is beautiful because Agalagilan is a word that has been used by Nammalvar to refer to Sri Devi, who says, I will never leave Emperman even for a moment. Agalagilan is a word that she famously uses. So that word is also used in the fourth line, but there it refers to Sri Devi. But here, Agalagila Anbarkum, refers to the Bhagavatas. Apparently, even the Bhagavatas are saying, no, I'm not going to leave Emperman. Agalagila Anbarkum. There is even the Bhagavatas who refuse to leave him out of love for him. Andre Thannarul Koduthu. Avargal keta andre Thannudaya Arulai Avan Koduthu. He gives them his mercy at the very moment when they ask for it. And not only that, Pahal Adanal Param Kangul. See, he uses a metaphor. He says moksham as being equivalent to day, or day as being equivalent to moksham. Pahal ennum mokshathai kodukiran. Pahal adanal param kangul vidivikkum. Param means for a long time, anadi kalamaga. Kangul means darkness. So the darkness that has pervaded them for anadi kalamaga, for a very, very long time, namely the samsara sagaram, adai eduthu Pagal adanal vidivikkum. He gives them this daylight called moksham, and thus vidivikkum, vidivai varavarakkinran. He brings the morning for them. That is, he takes away the night of samsara sagaram, and he gives them this day called moksham, vidivikkum. That Attigiri Arul Mugile. Hastigiri is a little mountain on which the temple is located. It's a short hill, if you will. Hastigiri means Yanai Malai. Hastigiri Arul Mukile. This is a very beautiful expression. Arul Mukil. Mukil means rain cloud. Arul Mukile. So what kind of rain does this produce? Arul Mukil. It produces a rain of mercy. He says Arul Mukile. So that Attigiri Arul Mukil, that Hastigiri rain cloud that rains mercy, he gives them this day, is called moksham, and removes the samsara sagaram called night. And he's also the Pankayattal Agalagilain Endru Varayam, the one who resides on the lotus flower, Agalagilain Endru Varayam. So he resides in her heart by saying, I'm not going to leave him even for a moment. So he's borrowing the words that Sri Nammalvar uses in his Thiruvaimuri. But anyway, this also refers to the generosity of the Varada. And now there's also a lot of discussion when you see Vyakyanam for this particular slokam of Swami Desikan, people will focus on the phrase, Yetad Deha Avasane. Ennudaya Sariratin Mudivil Ni Enakku Moksham Kodu. That's what Swami Desikan is saying. So people will be asking, why is it that he is asking why to wait until the end of this life? Why doesn't he say, I want moksham right now? Okay, so Deha Avasane, Etad Deha Avasane, Mom. Why does he say, wait until the end of my life? So there are some interesting discussion of that aspect of this particular slokam. Well, one of the reasons is that that there was a time when Bhagavad Ramanujar had 6 questions for Varadaraja Perumal, but Tirukkachi Nambi had the reputation of being in conversation with Varadaraja Perumal from time to time. So the legend is that he gave those 6 questions for which Bhagavad Ramanujar wanted answers. And then, then Varadaraja Perumal gave the answers through Tirukkachi Nambi to Bhagavad Ramanujar. For example, so these are 6 famous vakyams, if you will, starting with Aham Eva Paratattvam, I alone am the Supreme King. But the fifth vakyam of that is also is this dehavasane moksham cha. So at the end of the life, at the end of this body, that's when the moksham will be given. Dehavasane moksham cha. So one explanation for why Swami Desikan said etad dehavasane, that is, wait until the end of my life, in the deham mudiyum varai, mudinda piragu moksham kudu. The reason he said that is because that is simply borrowing the expression that was used by Emperuman in his famous answer to Bhagavat Ramanujar given through Tirukachinambi. That's one explanation. Now, another explanation is kind of, it's making fun of Swami Desikan in a kind of good-natured way. So in Adhikara Sangraham, which is one of the Deshika Prabandhams, he talks about Emperumans, and then the Emperuman being amused by these Bhagavatas. They may be perhaps both frustrated and amused by Bhagavatas, because the Emperuman, this is how Emperuman is thinking, Swami Desikan says, Mukti dara munne nondri, so tondri. So Emperuman is saying, look, I wanted to give them mukti. I wanted to give all these Bhagavatas moksham. So in order to give them that, munne tondri nen, I took avatarams on this earth. But nobody paid attention to me. Mukti dara munne tondri. So I was born, I was incarnated on this earth, and my sole purpose was to give moksham to the Bhagavatas. But the Bhagavatas didn't take up my offer. So he's now, Perumal is wondering, Emperuman is wondering, when are they going to accept this offer? Are they going to say, illalla இன்னைக்கு வேண்டாம், நாளைக்கு வாங்கிக்கிறேன், இல்லல்ல நாளைக்கு வேண்டாம், நாளன்னைக்கு வாங்கிக்கிறேன் மோட்சம் அப்படின்னு அவ சொல்வாளோ அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி பெருமான் நினைச்சு மனசுக்குள்ள சிரிக்கிறாராம். So he says, நல் நினைவால் நாம் இசையும் காலம். When out of good jnanam, nal nineval, out of good jnanam, when will the Bhagavatas agree? Is nam isayum kalam. Nam refers to the Bhagavatas. Nal nileval, என்று நாம் நல்ல ஞானத்துடன் சரி எனக்கு இன்றே மோட்சம் கொடு என்று சொல்ல போறோம். அது இன்றோ நாளையோ ஓ என்று நகை செய்கின்றானே. So நகை செய்கின்றானே means he is laughing at us. So he is laughing at us saying, are they going to say, give me moksham today, or give me moksham tomorrow, or maybe the day after, or maybe wait till next week, or wait, I'm still not done with my family, I have a few more things to do, give me moksham the next month, etc. So he's kind of making fun of the fact that that the Bhagavatas seem to want to cling to this life on this earth, and even though he's showing moksham right to their face, they seem to keep postponing it. So in some sense, Swami Desikan has fallen a prey to that by saying, Dehavasane, etad dehavasane mam tatpadam prapaya swayam. So has he fallen a prey to that tendency of the Bhagavatas to say, no, wait, don't give it to me today, give it to me and tomorrow or next week or next year, etc. Okay. Now, one other reason given for why he said to wait until the end of this life is that in one famous slokam of Varadaraja Panchasat, he says that he has no desire to reside even in Vaikuntham. Now, why would Swami Desikan say that? Why would Swami Desikan say that he has no desire to reside even in Vaikuntham? And that's because he is incessantly enjoying your Tirumani's beauty in Kanchipuram, and a beauty that the mind can't even grasp. So he's talking to Varadaraja Perumal. He says, I'm incessantly enjoying your Tirumani's beauty that the mind cannot even grasp. I truly swear, O Lord of Hastigiri, compared to this bliss, I have no desire to reside even in Vaikuntham. Nirantaram nirvishata sadiyam asprishta chinta padamabhirupyam satyam shape varana shailanatha Vaikuntha vasepi name bhilakshaha. Satyam shape. So Satyam shape, நான் சத்தியமாக சபதம் பண்ணுகிறேன், he says, O Varana Shailanatha. Varana, of course, means Yanai, right? Varanamayiram Suravalam செய்து Varana Shaili, Shaila refers to the Hasti Giri, Varana Shailanatha, so the Lord of Hastigiri. O Lord of Hastigiri, Satyam shape, I swear, I truly swear, Vaikuntha vasepi, Vaikuntha vasam kuda, me, yanakku, na abhilashaha. எனக்கு அதிலும் எனக்கு அபிலாஷை இல்லை. You know the Tamil word, in Tamil we use the word abhilashay to mean viruppam. So Vaikuntha வாசத்தில் கூட எனக்கு விருப்பம் இல்லை. And that's because of this நிரந்தரம் நிர்விசத ஸ்வதீயம். நான் நிரந்தரமாக அனுபவித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றேன் உன்னுடைய அஸ்பிருஷ்ட சிந்தாபதம் ஆபிரூபியம். உன்னுடைய திருமேனியின் அழகை, which my mind cannot fathom, my mind cannot even grasp. I am enjoying it so much that even Vaikuntham, I don't want it. I just want to enjoy this Archavataram. Now that's a sentiment that you will see expressed by Tirumangayalvar as well, but I'll mention that in a future class. So one explanation given for why wait till the end of this life is because Swami Desikan is so enamored of this Archavataram in Kanchipuram that he wants Emperman to wait. Okay, so let's just chant this, and I'll call it a day after that. Shriman Abhishta Varada, Shriman Abhishta Varada, Tvamasmi Sharanam Gataha, Tvamasmi Sharanam Gataha, Etad Deha Vasane Mam, Etad Deha Vasane Mam, Tvatpadam Prapaya Swayam, Tvatpadam Prapaya Swayam. Now we'll say that just twice, the whole thing together. Shriman Abhishta Varada, Tvamasmi Sharanam Gataha, Etad Deha Vasane Mam, Tvatpadam Prapaya Swayam. One more time. Shriman Abhishta Varada, Tvamasmi Sharanam Gataha, Etad Deha Vasane Mam, Tvatpadam Prapaya Swayam. Okay, with that, we'll finish off with that Tanyan. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. So, Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu.